Artimus Prime, Artimus Prime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Artimus, subscribe for
Face gun on the butt. Hey, what's up, you guys? Artimus Prime here doing another Hot Toys figure review on the Hot Toys Iron Man 3 Mark 33 Silver Centurion 1/6 scale MMS 213 collectible figure. If you're trying to get your Hot Toys figures, you can get them at Sideshow Collectibles. I actually picked this figure up from Sideshow, so if you're trying to get your Silver Centurion, click the link in the description below. You can get yours over there. I really dig the packaging for this. It's all nice, matted over here. Then we get some glossy gray, not silver, but gray right over there. Digging the Silver Centurion armor, man. First Iron Man comic I ever got had Silver Centurion. It was a hand-me-down comic. But yeah, looking on the back over here, you see the warning label. And on top, it says Iron Man 3 upside down. And then right over here, upside down Iron Man 3. And then we can go ahead and lift this up, do the Hot Toys plop. Let's do the Hot Toys plop. Plop right there, and then you can see right over here on the inside, you can see all the people that are responsible for making this figure, and then it says the house party protocol, so yeah. So anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Silver Centurion armored Iron Man out of the packaging, and man, this is sick. I mean, what did you expect? Hot Toys, they just really know how to make badass Hot Toys Iron Man figures, but man, you know, this being the Silver Centurion, and you know, me being a fan of that armor, I just think this figure looks very, very cool. Overall, I really love the figure. I do have a couple of little gripes as far as the design goes, but as far as what Hot Toys has done, I think they just hit it out of the park with this particular figure. I've mentioned in several reviews how I can't stand the standard issue adjustable cradle that comes with Hot Toys figures, and this guy does not come with one. He comes with this guy right here, which I absolutely love. This is a very cool base. Now, it does have this little part right here where you can put batteries in it, but you can't. You know, so for this particular one, they took out all the components that make it light up or whatever, and I forgot to take off this plastic sleeve right over here. There's this little sheet that goes around this. So, yep, gotta take that off. Didn't even notice that was there. Very nice looking silver dry brushing going on right there. Just gotta give it a quick little zoom in. That's awesome. What I'm really impressed with is this piece right over here. This is super firm. This is really, really strong, and I like that a lot. And this Hot Toy Silver Centurion isn't even really that heavy, so it's too bad I don't want to risk putting a diecast figure on here. But this is very posable. You know, you obviously saw the flight pose I had him in. This is the cradle or the clip that comes with the dynamic stand, which is really great, so I like this as well. I'm not even bothered by the lack of the light function. I am very, very pleased with this. So this guy has some interchangeable accessories. You get the regular light up Iron Man head right over there, and then we get this interchangeable one that has some battle damage going on, and then you can remove this faceplate over here and you get the Tony Stark, which I'll show off more in a second. You get 6 interchangeable fists, you get the fisted hands, you get the repulsor blast hands, articulated hands. They have a joint all at the knuckles, middle of the thumb, and then 2 points in the fingers, so you can't get them in that Pepper Potts pleasure pose. And then you get these 2 spikes over here, which are made out of actual metal. I thought that was a pretty strange weapon for Iron Man to have, but you know, it's pretty sharp and pointy. It's made out of real metal, like I said. It's a little serrated right there on the edges, and switching these in and out is a little tricky. You just kind of have to feel for it. I don't know, it's like, see, that doesn't really fit too well. And then that's not really going in there, so I'm going to try it with the other hand over here. And yeah, see, that's the only way I can really figure out how to put each spike wherever it's supposed to go. This is a pretty nice looking head sculpt. I feel like the head may look a little on the long side, but not too bad. I think it's pretty cool overall. I really like the silver paint. They have this beigeish grayish kind of colored spray going over it on top of the silver too, which is really, really cool. It really adds some depth to it. I think this is just wonderful. I really like the cherry red coming throughout the entire figure. There's no complaints over here on that. That is just too awesome. Then he does have a light function that is very, very easy. You actually want to start peeling it off from the back of the head over here and then lift up. Then you just get a little switch, and it's not very difficult to use at all. And I really like how the lights look on this head sculpt. That looks really cool. Those lights are very, very bright and very even in each eye socket. I think that is awesome. This off right over here and then show the battle damaged version with the Tony Stark face underneath. It's a really snug fit getting this head on the ball joint over there, so I had to do that off camera, but still, look at this. I mean, you get some little scuffage right there above the lip. You can see the silver right over there, and you get some extra black spray on top of the face guard and on top of the rest of this battle damaged head sculpt, which just looks amazing. I really like how this looks a lot. Very, very, very impressive. Then you can just remove this and then reveal the Tony Stark head, and then you can place that on top. And then actually one of the, this really sucks, but one of the magnets came off. I don't know how that happened, but I lost a magnet in there. That really bums me out, but it still works. You just have to be careful the way you place this up on top of here. It's not crazy difficult or whatever getting that situated, but I think that Tony Stark head sculpt looks awesome. Wow. I like the blood running down his forehead. I like how he's looking straight at you. He's not looking like up and to the left or anything, and you get some nice detail on the mustache and stuff like that. I really like how realistic the blood looks on this. This is a very, very, very cool head sculpt. And if you wanted to put the Tony Stark the Mechanic head sculpt on here, the ball peg doesn't fit this particular head sculpt, but that can work. I guess if you put some sticky tack or something in there to get it to hold, it doesn't actually look too terrible. I guess it could go the same way for the Mark 42. I don't know. I don't really like that as much. And the rest of the figure has some nice detail in it, especially this undercollar neck area right there. I think that looks very impressive. Again, Arc Reactor has a ton of detail in here, and you can turn this on. Remember, you have to insert the batteries yourself, but you remove this little plate right here, and then flip the switch. Wow, that is really cool. Yeah, I'm digging that a lot. Now, switching the chest plate off isn't too bad. You just kind of pick it off right there. And there's these 4 different peg holes. A lot of nice sculpted detail over here. I think that looks great. Then we could attach the battle damaged version on here. And bam. Oh man, that looks sick. I really like the black paint right here and the silver. It really looks like there's been smoke all over it and everything. He's cooking in his little turtle suit. He has his signature silver Centurion shoulder pads over here, which look very cool. They don't restrict any articulation. You have this little piece that moves around over here to help with articulation and everything. I wish that there was a little bit more silver on the limbs. I'm not blaming Hot Toys for this. It's the designers, I think. But yeah, or the designers from the movies. And then you have some nice variation of paint right over here. It's not just a solid silver. It has some of that beige speckled in there. I think that's really cool. And to see the light up function for one of the repulsors, he has them on each of his hands, but just flip the switch right over there and bow, wow, 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 wow. I really wish they had more silver going on throughout the entire figure, but you know, it's still pretty awesome looking. But I guess, you know, in these boots right over here, I feel like they're kind of bell-bottomy looking, and I think they're kind of big. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little nitpicky with it over here, but I get a little frustrated with this design from the lower half. And I rewatched Iron Man 3, and you don't really see the Silver Centurion from the waist down at all. Nice overspray over here on this little section right there. So again, that's not just a solid piece of silver. You get these little pieces that lift up on his calves, which I think is awesome. We get some really nice detail in here. That looks so cool. I love that, man. That is sick. Yeah, and it's like that on this side over here too. So the same nice silver painted details and the nice sculpting work in there is just really impressive. I'm just looking at the rest of the back of the figure, not looking too bad. Now, I've said in the past the die-cast figures from Hot Toys are the best thing to ever come out of Hot Toys, but this guy actually likes his articulation more than the die-cast 42. For instance, his head can look up a very good amount. You can see there's this little piece right over here on the back of his neck. There's a way to do it where you can actually get his head to look up, and that doesn't hinder any head articulation. So he has a hinge right in there, and the neck joint moves, and I just think that is awesome. That is really cool. It makes for some great flight poses. He can get his shoulders moving outward that much. You can get him to rotate all the way forward. He has a bicep swivel in here. He has double jointed elbows that move at 90 degrees. He has a ball jointed wrist right over here. He has a diaphragm joint that actually separates. No, the separation is just right above the waist, right over there. But still, you can make the upper torso look back quite a bit, again helping with the flight poses, which is awesome. It can crunch forward over here, and it rotates side to side just that much right over here. And then for this waist section, it doesn't really move forward too much. It does move back over here though, and there's kind of like a button thing that pushes in that helps with that articulation too. And it does move just underneath this piece at the waist, left and right, so you get quite a bit of waist movement. I mean, you could really make him look all the way around. I think that is very nice for a Hot Toy. And his legs move outward that much. You can get him to kick forward. There's also a hinge in here that allows the legs to move up and down at the hip. He has an upper thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees that bend quite a bit, and then he has all these panels over here that move around that allow the ankle to move. He can move his foot down, up just a little bit. He does have a little bit of toe articulation, and he does have the ankle pivot, but just a tiny bit of ankle pivot, just a baby little ankle pivot over there. This is a 1/6 scale figure, but the Silver Centurion stands at about 13 inches tall. And here's our Silver Centurion compared to the Hot Toys Tony Stark the Mechanic and the Mark 42 diecast figure. As you can see, the Silver Centurion stands the tallest. And then here's the figure compared to the Marvel Legends comic version of the Silver Centurion armor, and you can clearly see that you get a lot more silver around here on the limb section, and I feel like this is actually a pretty decent representation of how the Silver Centurion is supposed to look. I just wish he had a little bit more silver on him. Especially when you turn it sideways over here, it looks like almost an entirely red figure. And of course, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. And just to see how the figure looks with all 4 lights on over here, I think it looks pretty sweet. I don't know if this armor is considered a must-get for most people, but for me, I really wanted it a lot, and I really do like it. I was surprised to like it as much as I actually do. I really like the articulation a lot, and I just think it's an awesome piece. So again, you know, if you're trying to get one, click the link link in the description below. It'll take you to Sideshow Collectibles. And I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. And check out marvelousnews.com for the latest in action figure news. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Gave it a spark. Welcome to Articulated Comic Book Art.
That's crispy.
He has double. Whoa.